Okay, homeostasis. It's a big concept throughout all of anatomy and physiology, and actually, it's a big concept in biology itself. And it's one that we're going to tackle today before we get into um, the rest of human anatomy. Homeostasis, what is it? Remember that prefix homeo means same or similar, and that stasis is just meaning status. And so it's keeping a similar or the same status throughout a variety of our body systems. Okay, so I always like to think of this as a thermostat. You have a thermostat in your house, and you have it set for a particular temperature in the summertime. Maybe it's 72 degrees in the summer and 68 degrees in the wintertime, or something that we know that your house is going to stay comfortable and operational in that certain window for a temperature. Your body's the same way. Okay, we know that your body likes to hover between 98 and 99 degrees. We know that too far above that and things start to break down, and then too far below that and things no longer function as well. However, it's not just body temperature that this happens with. It's throughout a lot of systems in your body. So we think of temperature as an obvious one. You have a pH balance inside of your bloodstream. Your bloodstream is usually around 7.4 pH. You have blood glucose levels. And so we'll go on to, in later chapters, be talking about how insulin and glucagon before, during, and after your meals keep your blood glucose levels at a tolerable homeostasis. You have different water and ion concentrations, whether it's sodium, potassium, all of these things. But all of these things, it's a very important concept for, in particular, physiology, that we keep your body in those ranges where it functions at its highest and most preferred level. That's what keeps us alive. How do we keep that at those levels? By two systems called a positive feedback loop, which is pretty rare, and then a negative feedback loop, which is much more common. Right? A negative feedback loop is one that happens quite a bit, and that is where our stimulus is pushing the body into a direction that it doesn't want to go, and so we will negatively combat that and push that back into the direction that we want to be homeostasis. So it's returning our body back to that level. Think about it: when your body is hot, your brain is going to spend a lot of effort to try to cool your body down. It's going to cause vascular dilation near the surface of the skin to bring blood to the surface to cool that down. It's going to cause you to sweat. It's going to make you feel tired so that you lower your amount of energy, so you quit spending energy. All those things in order to get us back into that healthy range of homeostasis. So that's negative feedback loop. A positive feedback loop is really rare, and that's where, when we're going a particular direction, your body is going to enhance or accelerate that stimulus, which doesn't make sense. Like, you wouldn't, if you're getting too hot, you're not going to your brain's not going to try to make your body hotter. The one example I always use about that is your blood clotting mechanism. And so we know we want to keep your blood in your blood vessels and in your body, and not have it be pooling out of your veins and arteries. And so when you do get a cut, there's a signal that goes through for your body to start the clotting process. And each level of the clotting process pushes the next one even further. And so it enhances that next one until the blood's actually clotted there. And so that's an example of a positive feedback loop. Just looking at a simple diagram of it. So here's that same body temperature thing I'm talking about with a negative feedback loop. So you have a body temperature exceeds 37 degrees Celsius. Your nerve cells and skin and brain sense that. So that's the sensor. And then we have a control center. That's the temperature regulatory center in the brain. We're going to be talking about the, off the top of my head, thalamus and hypothalamus. And then it's going to cause an effect, which are your sweat glands throughout your body, in order to push that body temperature back down to 37 degrees. So there's just an example of, we get that stimulus, you have a sensor inside of your body that's going to go to the control center, typically your brain or spinal cord, and that's going to cause an effect that's going to push that stimulus back down into that homeostatic range that we like to live in. All right, so like I said, a real short concept today, but a super important one, and we'll find out that there's a lot of things that are in the physiology of human bodies that are solely designed around keeping that homeostatic level. All right, so homeostasis is there. Next up will be levels of organization, and that's a fun one. That's a lot of our body's very organized, and so we're going to spend our own whole, actually, a couple videos on that to go through not only what are those parts, but then also some labs and activities to help reinforce a lot of those organizational terms that you might find. So thanks for tuning in. Until next time.